Nice.
Hello, and welcome to the first episode of Gears of War Book Club. I don't really know what this is yet. I guess it's like a review, but also a summary. I'm sure as I make more of these, I'll figure it out eventually. I just recorded this live while looking at my notes, so it's pretty bad, but I didn't know how else to do it. Hopefully I get better at this with time. Today we are only looking at one book, Aspho Fields, that takes place between Gears of War 1 and 2, while also flashing back to before even E-Day, during the events of Aspho Fields as mentioned in Gears of War. Let's begin. Alright. I'm recording this in one take, I guess. I don't have a script, I'm just kind of reading and talking, I guess. So we're gonna see how this goes. I have a bunch of notes from the book. So many pages of notes. Oh my god, so many fucking... Dude, this is so many pages of notes. What the fuck? Why did I take so many notes? Okay. So obviously the title is Aspho Fields, which was referenced in that one cutscene in the first game.
Hey! Are you the Marcus Phoenix? The one who fought at Aspho Fields?
Yep.
Wow. Cool!
Not really.
Each chapter opens up with like a quote. Some of them are interesting, but I'm not going to read you all of them. The first and like I think the last one are from a character named Queen Mira, which is the Locust Queen, which is who Ron was talking about, and like the woman that talks in the intro, and like the woman who talks and everything during the cutscenes.
For a time, the humans of Serra knew the illusion of peace. I am pleased with our progress, and we are not dead yet.
That's like the Locust Queen or whatever, which is interesting. The story jumps between the present, like in between Gears 1 and 2, and then it goes back to Dom and Marcus as like pretty young. Like it goes from like them being literally kids to in the military until like Aspho Fields, which is pretty important. I'm just gonna look at my notes here. Oh, they're looking for... It mentions a couple of times during the game that Dom is looking for a woman.
So, what? You hang out with Stranded?
I don't hang out, dickwad. I'm looking for somebody.
Hey, Santiago, what you doing here? No news on the lady, man. I'll tell you if I heard anything.
That woman is Maria, which is his wife, who has been missing for 10 years. And he's been looking for her. You know, it's important. They encounter, this is in present day, they encounter a sniper who they think is a Stranded, but they're actually not a Stranded. It is Bernie Mataki, who is an old veteran who was there at Aspho Fields. There's a couple characters that are in a bunch of the Gears here. So they introduce Ty Kaliso, who comes from the same place that Bernie Mataki is from, I think, which is, I think they say some Southern Islands or whatever. It's like the accent, by the way, the guy, I was an audiobook I listened to, the guy's accents are hilarious. What he does for Coltrane is interesting. But yeah, a big part of the story is Carlos Santiago, which is Dom's older brother, or was Dom's older brother. He died at Aspho Fields, which is really important. Dom doesn't know how he died specifically, and there's lots of build up, you know, like the characterization is super great in the beginning, because it's Marcus being first introduced, and he's obviously his dad and family were very like wealthy. They're scientists, right? And so they say he has a posh accent, which is really fucking funny in hindsight now that he's like a grizzled dude with a soul patch. And and so you see him kind of become who he is, being friends with Carlos. Carlos kind of like he basically adopted into the Santiago family. He's very estranged from the Phoenix family. He doesn't really like being around him. It's kind of a weird vibe. I'm not even looking at my notes. This is bad. And as they get older, they want to join the military. They discover they want to do all that, mainly following in Carlos's steps. Carlos wants to be in the military. Dom and Marcus, maybe that wasn't like their... Marcus eventually is like, that's like what he really wants to do, but they're mainly just sticking with Carlos because they love Carlos. And they're all kind of, even though Marcus isn't a Santiago, they're all kind of the Santiago brothers. And they're going to fight. This is before the Locusts showed up on E-Day, Emergence Day. It is the Pendulum Wars. The Pendulum Wars, which is the COG against the UIR, which they were fighting over, what's the fuel called? Emulsion. They're fighting over that. And they've been fighting for 80 years. Once Marcus and Carlos and Dom all join and everything. And you see them go through training. You see Marcus kind of get older and kind of like develop a personality, basically. You learn Ty Kalisto doesn't really get a whole lot of personalization, but he's definitely important because he's in the present. So I think he's going to be in the next game. And Bernie is important. And the whole point with Asphalt Fields is that the UIR are developing the Hammer of Dawn, which would obviously just completely fuck up the COG. They would lose the war. So they're trying to secure it and get to Asphalt Point, where it's being developed at Asphalt Fields. And so Dom becomes, you see them like kind of like be taught and everything and like go through training on what they're going to do. And it's Carlos and Marcus and Bernie, and I think it's Ty Kalisto's there as well, are going to be like the foot soldiers to back up the commandos, which is Dom, and Hoffman is there. And they go in and they get the data, which they go in and they have they have robots, which are basically, like, remember Jack from the game? It's basically those.
Jack, decloak and rip this door.
Go in and strip the data, and they have to get out. And as they're getting away, they get, obviously shit goes wrong. There's like a bunch of people coming in. It's like an ambush, basically. They're trying to get out scientists so they can use the scientists to develop the weapon for themselves. Their boats nearly sink as they're getting away from like helicopters. I think they're called chimeras that were shooting at them as they're getting in the boats. And Dom saves some people, which was a huge, like, very important. And while on the other part of the place, because they came in through the water, so that's the issue, is how they're going to get out. There's a bridge that was important. That's how the troops are getting around. And they took out one of the anti-air, which was preventing the helicopters from coming in and getting out. I think they were, I can't remember what squad they were, but it was some of the main characters like Dom and Carlos and Baron and everything, getting them out. And so they take out one, but they can't get the other one. And the other one's coming over. And Carlos, I really wish I could talk more about Carlos, because he's really cool. Everyone loves Carlos. He's very perfect. And he goes in. He was like he kind of runs in like head first, like, I'm gonna blow this thing up. And they're like, don't do that. That's fucked up and bad. Don't do that. But he does it anyways, and he gets a couple of soldiers killed, which is really unfortunate. And then he gets shot and injured. And Marcus shows up, and they blow a hole in the side of the anti-air, and then Marcus takes it, jumps in like a badass. Holy shit. Holy voice crack. Jumps in like a badass and takes out the planes, or the Chimera, and then the commandos get away with the scientists and all the information. And then, but they're still being attacked by like soldiers and everything. So Marcus is running to save Carlos, even though if he does that, he's going to get killed. And Carlos is already upset because he got some people killed. He doesn't want to get Marcus killed. So he pulls a pin on a grenade and gets himself killed, pulls himself up to save Marcus from running over there to save him getting himself killed, which is very unfortunate and sad. And Dom doesn't know that. Bernie and Marcus agree not to tell Dom, but they eventually do in the present, because it jumps back between and everything. And that was important. We also learned a little bit more about, if you remember, Anya. Her mother was a major, very important. Is kind of like the super important badass woman soldier, and she actually gets killed trying to take one of the anti-air. She throws a grenade in it and jumps out, and then it blew up too close to where she died. Yeah, and then after they all get Embry stars and everything. Marcus and Dom takes Carlos's honorary thing. Carlos is buried at the Tomb of the Unknowns, which is what you visit there in the first game.
Get it on, man! Yeah!
Alpha, we have visuals on your location.
Control, this is Private Phoenix. So we've fallen back inside the tomb and we need a way out of here.
And Marcus buries his Embry star at Carlos's grave. I'm not even looking at my notes. I'm just going off my brain. I'm missing so much shit. And that's Hoffman sees that and is kind of like, oh man, this Marcus is kind of the goat. Like he's a real soldier. Else in the present, they're kind of picking off the last grubs and everything that are left. There's a bunch of stuff. I feel like it doesn't really matter what's going on. Hoffman and Barney go off to do something else. Hoffman and Marcus kind of make up and talk, but he doesn't. Hoffman wants to know why he abandoned. Like the reason he originally got in prison, if you remember, is he abandoned his orders or whatever to go help his dad with something, and some people got killed and kind of fucked up the mission or whatever. But his dad ended up dying anyway, so it was kind of pointless. And Hoffman asks him why, and he's like, doesn't really give a real answer. And Dom asks him why later, and he says it's because him and his dad ever found his mom in the Locust tunnels, which was like huge fucking news because earlier in the book, when they were kids, his mom goes missing and his dad refuses to tell him where she went. So clearly there's something sketchy going on with them knowing something about the Locust being Locust tunnels. If you remember, his dad had a secret laboratory with all the tunnels mapped out. So that's the reason why he had those and why he wouldn't tell someone else, because clearly they were doing some shitty shit. They know something. And the book ends with them going to check out this other city, Toland, I think it says Toland. But they're going to check it out because they hear some news, and Dom maybe thinks Maria is there. When they go over it, it's just gone. There's just a giant like pit, not pit, but it's like a lake. The entire city has just been sunken in, which is all fucked up and everything. And they're like, this is crazy. And so that's where the next game is going to be. Trying to figure out what the hell happened. We're going to see some new characters like Ty Caliso, probably there. Still Delta Squad, Baird, Cole, Dom, and Marcus. A lot more characterization for Cole and Baird as well. Baird is more of an asshole in the book, even. Very annoying and aggravating, but very smart. Marcus is also revealed to be very smart. His dad was a scientist. He is very smart, actually. Knows a lot of shit. Cole gives away some food to some kids. They mention Gears actually get like so much more calories and extra food to be able to fight. It'd be super huge. Like we see them, they're fucking jacked. Cole actually, he was a big thrashball player. He was huge, but he joined the military and he actually rejects promotions. He rejects promotions to go higher up in rank because he wants to stay at the whatever level Gears are at, because he joined to help fight in the Locust War to be a good example or whatever. Yep, I think that's it. I actually like this book. I wish I could talk about it more, but it's just a lot of fucking notes, and I'd be here for like an hour talking about it, and I'd just be summarizing the book, which is, I know this is bad. This is a really bad first episode to this thing. I hope you got a good idea of what the fuck is happening. I'll get better at this as I go. I just don't know how to do a fucking book report, bro. It was like an 11-hour audiobook that I listened to on 3 times speed. Like I can't, like I have all this information about, I don't know how to convey it to you in like what is important and what isn't important, especially since I don't know what's in the next games. Like I don't know what's going to be important to tell you. But yeah, lots of good characterization, lots of good writing. The battles are pretty interesting. All the military explanations, they do a pretty good job of like conveying gameplay into the book. I think the descriptions of them like chainsawing through enemies and like getting the blood all over their face is pretty cool. There's mention, Chairman Prescott Chairman is important. He's a character. He's like their, I guess, like the COGS leader. Yep. So remember that. Anya does like Marcus. So that's what that eye contact was about. They like each other, but like they're in the military, so it's like weird and they can't really do anything about it. Dom started dating Maria, or married her at like 16 because he got her pregnant, and they had another kid, and those kids actually died after the events of E-Day with the locust and everything. And his wife got really depressed. That's when she went missing. She's been missing for 10 years, like I said earlier. I think that's it. Thank you for listening. Check out the video tomorrow, I guess. And let's hope Dom finds Maria. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow. Today is not Saturday for me. I guess I'm gonna go play the game like right now. Like, literally, like right now. Like as soon as I'm done recording this, I'm gonna go play that probably. See you guys tomorrow. Bye. Hello, it's future me again. There was still some shit I forgot about. Like on the cover, you can see their lancers have bayonets on them, like regular knife bayonets, which is the original lancer before they changed it to a chainsaw during some time on E-Day. We get some more like world building, like at Jacinto, their last like bastion for humanity. They grow food like a fungal food that they eat, but they like all the civilians grow it on their like houses and stuff, which is really interesting. I think that's cool. Hoffman mentions that the berserkers are the only females in the Locust army, and the only way they can reproduce is tying the berserkers down, and yeah, which is fucked up, and just goes like, it really like is meant to showcase that the Locusts are like unforgivable, like just like monsters. That like the only way they can reproduce is like the worst thing you can do to someone, which is fucking insane. There's a lot of stuff about Hoffman, like he was a war hero at a battle at like Anvil Gate or something. I'm sure we'll learn about that later. Okay, I think that's actually the end now. I'll let you go. Like and subscribe, I guess. Stay tuned for the next video, which is not coming out tomorrow. Like I said, I don't know when the fuck it's gonna come out. Soon, hopefully. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time.